My parents are Troy Stansberry Curtis and Lorraine Lee Hari Curtis. My grandparents are Chris Hari and Mary Louise North Hari are my grandparents. We're descendants from is it the Sand Creek? I'm a descendant from the Sand Creek Massacre. My great-great-grandma, Jabine, was a survivor from Sand Creek. She had one daughter. Her daughter was Nancy Lee North. And my grandma, Mary Louise North, that's her mother, from Gary. They're buried at the family cemetery in North Family Cemetery in Gary, Oklahoma. And my mother, Lorraine Lee Hari, was buried in Colony. Later on, she married Clyde William Armstrong from Deer Creek. And my stepfather raised me and my sisters, Janice Marie Curtis, Mary Lee Curtis, and Darla Jean Curtis. We were raised around Deer Creek. I lived in Colony and raised my boys. I lived in Colony over 30-some years and drove back and forth to work over here at Clinton. And I live here at the ILC apartments because I can't be by myself no more. I had a real bad stroke and I lived through it. I didn't like it here at first. I cried. I wanted to go back to Colony, but I got used to it because I have relatives that live here and everybody knows me, and I help with everything I can here, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy my life. I missed it at first because I was used to working, and we have things, but we can't have a lot of things right now because of this pandemic. But we still have things and we help, and if anybody needs any help, I'm willing to help them. They come and they look for Janice, which is me. And I walk around this building to get exercise. I keep moving because it's the best thing to do. I'm not a diabetic, but my left side is still weak. I guess I'll never get that back, but that's all right. But that's a little bit of the story of our history, and they would tell me about it. And when my grandmother was living in Gary, I used to go see her a lot, and we'd go riding around, and then we'd go get ice cream. She knew all the news of Gary and everybody. And the home place, we'd always drive out there. And in Colony, I knew everybody, and I knew all the old-timers. They're all gone now. There's just me and two other families that are at Colony. All the rest are deceased. So it makes you stop and think when you start losing people that you knew and you grew up with, and you knew since you was a kid. But Colony is like home to me. It was peaceful. A lot of people were scared. They used to say it was spooky and they see things, but there's another story to that. I know about Colony, and I know there's spirits there, and I have seen them, and I know them. And they were good to me and my boys because that's our home. We got family at Colony, and we was never scared. We could even walk around in the dark, but a lot of people don't like being down there. But Colony has a lot of history. They had the school there. That has a lot of history. And they have the dance there every year, and I heard they're going to have it this year. I hope they do. That's good. But they used to have a store, cafe, a lot of stuff, but everything has just closed down through the years. They have got nothing there now. They don't even have a cafe now. They just have the post office. It's just open for about 2 hours for the mail, and that's it. And everybody's moved away. Young people's moved away. That nobody wants to live at Colony no more. The only one that's down there too is Daryl Feinman. He was raised at Colony. Him and his sister were raised on the hill, east on the hill, and go by the cemetery. Their grandparents raised him Flying Man, him and his sister there. And Daryl always said he wanted to come home when he retired, and he did. He bought a home in Colony. So he likes it there. And I'd walk around the park. When I got home, I threw that cane away, and I walk every day. I walk around the park, and which I always did. My dogs and cats used to follow me and go with me. And I sit on the porch all day. You got to see the animals. I would hear, you can see, I watch those turkeys, poor thing, they're just cute. Especially when that male turkey is showing off, you got to see him dance. But you know what? That's where a lot of the Indians got their dances from, is watching animals. and I had a fox, and we had raccoons we fed, and my son raised a baby raccoon, and turtles. Just watch all kind of animals and stuff. And then certain times, I used to have flowers and stuff. Certain times of the evening, I could hear them talking. Several times they've done that to me. I'd be sitting in the front yard, and I lived in the old white house first, and then when my neighbor, Bobby Joe Torty, passed away, I got that other house next door. It was a little bit better. But they come from the south. I could hear them talking Indian, they'd laugh. And I used to wait for them. My dog was alive, get Nikki. I had a black lab boy, she was a good watchdog. She used to go look at that way and come to me, watch. I guess she hear them too. Just think they never did get to me though, but I could hear them coming. I used to walk all. I used to carry a golf club if I ran into a snake or something or a skunk, but nothing ever bothered me. So that has a lot of history there, and it just come to life so good when they had the dance. Everybody there and enjoyed it, and then when everybody would go home, it just I'd feel sad for a while. I said, well, they'll be back again. So I believe spirits come. But that's a little bit of the history. And my Aunt Nancy Ann North Lumpmouth Rhodes, which Mary Louise is her mother, she retired from WIC. She's the one that bought Jabine's tombstone and put it out at the family cemetery. We've got quite a few family out there. I've got some cousins that were killed that are two sisters. They're buried out there. And we got relatives in Gary, the Fletchers and a lot of them. Sweezies, they're our relatives. Fletchers, all of them. So I got relatives on both sides, Cheyenne and Arapaho. My Maribel Lombert was my aunt, and George Curtis and all of them. I know all of them. Then my cousins, they all live here yet. And Clinton's okay, but the town, I never did live in Clinton. I didn't do too much shopping in Clinton, but the only time I come over here, well, of course I worked over here at the WIC, the school, but I go to the clinic. But I did most of my shopping in Weatherford. But I think about this sometime and I dream about it. And I like my music, Cheyenne and Arapaho music, songs in church. I listen to that a lot. And I can sing those songs and all that, because I was baptized. My grandmother raised me, Minnie Flynn Tasso. She raised me till she passed away. We used to go to church all the time. And me and my brother Jimmy, we were baptized at Watanga in that Indian Baptist church when we were just kids. So I've been baptized. And she used to like to go to dance. We'd go to dances all the time. We'd go to church. We'd go to hand games. We're always doing something. She could sew and bead and cook. She was quite talented. I tried to bead, but I'm left-handed. My stepdad fixed us all looms when we were beading after we have supper, but I'd be going the wrong way. He'd try to tell me to do something. And then I gave up on it. I gave all my bead work and everything to my dad. He used to bead. He made all of us pins and stuff, peyote stitch and stuff. And he farmed. He worked for farmers around Thomas and all over. And my mother was a CHR. So, and we enjoyed going out every holiday and stuff. And my parents' birthday and Mother's Day and Father's Day, I never forgot my parents. We always went out to see them, and I'd take something to them. My mother and dad had a beautiful yard. They had everything kept up and all kind of trees and bushes and roses and stuff. I used to buy my mother roses and irises. And we had peyote meetings out there. I was raised in a Native American church. I bought the canvas and my mother made the teepee for my dad. And there's lots of times me and my sisters would have to help our dad put the teepee up or take it down. He treated us like boys. And he was a mechanic too. He used to work on people's vehicles. And so that's how we grew up. A lot of people that come to meetings out there, they're gone, passed on. And we always had something out there. Now everybody, seemed like after our parents passed away, everybody just kind of like scattered. Don't get together no more. Only time we see each other is when there's a wedding or a funeral. And that's pitiful. People's got cars, it's true, we don't visit like we should. My grandmother, Mary Louise, used to tell me when they had company out there at the home place, they'd stay like a whole week and visit that was good and stuff. And my grandma used to say, now everybody's got cars and nobody visits. You know, the car can just take you a little ways to get where you're going. I said, well, Grandma, that's true what you're telling us. But yeah, she only had one daughter. And my dad, Troy Stansberry Curtis, he was in Korea, and he fought and came home, and he got a Bronze Star and a Silver Star. And my grandpa, Christopher Kearns Hari, he was in World War II. They both made it back home. They were in the service. And I'm a member of the Thomas Service Club. My great-grandma, Cora Flynn, started that during the war. I got my shawl and stuff, but I don't hardly dance no more. And my grandmother, Mary Louise, was a easy, you know, from what I've seen growing up, Arapahos were more of a quiet people. My grandmother was easygoing and quiet. You never ever seen her mad or our sister odd than them. But Cheyennes are more outspoken. My Cheyenne grandmother, oh God, she could tell you off in a minute. That was the difference I seen between both of them, Cheyenne and Arapaho. And we were just country kids growing up. We always had a big garden, and we had cans, and my grandmother, we used to have to pick them bugs off the tomatoes and stuff. And when they go to the store, they'd get us a big coloring book or those doll things you put the clothes on. We used to make our baby sister Dolly eat dirt. And we ate from the garden. We never had town bread. We always had biscuits or skillet bread or fry bread. And us kids, they had newspaper on the floor. That's where us kids ate, and the adults ate at the table. And when we always had our coffee, meat, and vegetables and stuff, and fruit, and like that. And I used to get so sick of eating fruit cocktail and them little like cinnamon rolls. I said, when I grow up, I'm not going to eat no more. Here, I like them now. They're hard to find. And the only time we had store-bought bread is like it was a holiday or something, and they fed. That's just some of the stories we learned from them. And I know how it is to go to an outhouse, to pump water, wash your own clothes in a tub. We've done that. Okay. That was the best days of our lives. Now people just turn on a faucet, water comes out, just put your clothes in the washing machine and dryer, and it is done. And people aren't happy. When you had to do all this other stuff, that's a little bit work, and that's why they used to be healthy. My great-grandfather on both sides were farmers. They had cattle, and my grandmother had chickens, and she used to trade with the neighbors at Colony. And my great-grandpa farmed, had his own smokehouse, and my great-grandma, Anna Purcell Hari, she could really make homemade bread and stuff. And my Cheyenne great-grandma too, she could really cook and stuff. When she got those gunny sacks out, I knew we were going to go look for turtles, because we had a shade in the back of the house, and that's where we stayed in the summer, and she had a cellar and stuff. We'd go get turtles, and she'd get plums and make plum jelly and preserves, and she made her own soap, lye soap. And when we'd get a whole bunch of turtles, about almost a wash tub full, they'd build a big fire there and get them coals, and she'd throw them live turtles in there, and have a stick and push them back in there. And I can't believe it, I was a kid, but we ate like that. Everybody wanted the eggs. But now today, I don't know if I could eat a turtle. I guess a kid. Those were the good old days. And her and I would just take off and walk to town, and then some farmer would pick us up. My grandma, she dressed the old way. She even had that blanket on her and her lawn dress, and she used to have her money by here tied up by her stocking. I used to hit it, Grandma, I got money in there. And every day after school or stuff, she would have something out for us. It would either be an orange, banana, or an apple. We'd have a moon pie, and we'd have, remember those orange slices, a couple of those, or a couple of candy, and that was it, because we was going to have supper. And I'd get in her closet. Did you know I never could find that candy? I used to get it. She had trunks and everything. I'd try to find it. And those were the good old days, and we always played outside. That's just part of growing up, and that's gone. I'll never see that again, and neither will my children. My sisters and I, we always played, and we had dolls and stuff, and cats and some puppies. But when she'd do her shopping, and if she couldn't find somebody to bring us home and pay them, she'd hire that. Weatherford used to have a taxi cab. The taxi cab would bring us home. People walked in those days. Nowadays, nobody can't even walk around the block. But this massacre, this is that Sand Creek thing. You know, they had a deal at Concho, and I didn't go to that. And they had his blanket down here at the Clinton Community Hall. My son come up and he goes, "Mama, do you want to go down and see it?" I said, "No, because you know what? That's not right. That blanket should have came back to us. But that person that's got that blanket isn't even an Indian." And so I didn't go down there and see it. They got that monument at Concho. One of these days I might go see it. And so everybody sewed, made their own clothes, dresses and like that. I don't know where they got their blankets from. They had to get them from somewhere. You know, Mohawk Lodge's been here a long time. Did you know originally it was that colony? And the women at Colony used to sew and bead. That's how they made extra money. It was by the Presbyterian Church Dinner, which I'm a member of. My great-grandpa was a deacon in that church, the Presbyterian Church. And all our family, we had their funerals there. And they moved it from Colony to where it is now. And it's still there. I haven't been in there in a long time. They'd make money. The women would meet there and they'd bead and sew and stuff, and they'd pay them for their work. But the church, the Presbyterian Church, it burned on the north side, on this side a little bit. See, it burned on the north side. So when my grandfather Chris passed away, we had to have his funeral where the kitchen part was, and it was so full of people, the people were outside. He's buried at Colony. And I go there, I decorate. I used to walk out to the cemetery by myself and pull weeds. We decorate there. We decorate here. We decorate at Clinton family, Colony family, and Gary family. So me and my aunt, we go 3 places. I've already got flowers. And I enjoy when we go. We just spent the whole day, take the whole day and just visit. And a lot of people that's buried, I got a lot of relatives at Colony Cemetery too, they're gone. But she had only one daughter, Nancy. And Nancy, how she got the name Nancy Lee? When she was a child, what's his name, Robert Lee, came and talked. I don't know what he was, in the service he was on. I don't know if he was for the gray or the blue, I forgot. He's the one that pointed her out and gave her that name, Nancy Lee. From this day, your name will be Nancy Lee. So, there's just a little bit of it, and I've got more pictures, a lot of pictures, but a lot of them I put up, and some of them I didn't. And and it's funny how our family all favors. How we get a little bit, we all have something from our parents. We get a little from our parents. There's something in our body, in our face, and our movements from our parents. We get it. And grandparents and aunts and uncles. It's true how we're made up. We are made up from our families. We got a little of this. Like I got the French nose. I got that from the French. I walk like my dad, and I stand like he did. He used to hold his legs back. And but how we're made when you have children, you get from both father and mother, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles. It's true. If you watch and look at the features and stuff, how your manners, and when you talk, you go, oh yeah, you got that from so and so. But we just carry on each generation, and that's good. We should keep this history down, because if not, this is going to be extinct one of these days, and nobody will know nothing. Records, it's hard to get stuff. Records come up missing. Pictures come up getting ruined in the basement. I heard they put a lot of pictures in the basement and water ruined them. And I got the Arapaho chief picture and the Cheyenne chief picture in my family on the side. I got stuff put up. So that's just a little bit of it. But This is interesting. That kind of lets me know, and my children know about this. And if they want to listen, fine. If they don't, they do. They listen. They do. They know. And I tell them that we believe in the Maker. People say, well, who is he? Who is God? Who is Jesus? That's not for me to say, I guess, or anybody. But you can't say I'm not going to believe in that. Some people do say that. But there is something. And we came from somewhere and we're going to go somewhere. I believe that. And people, and I try to tell people to accept it. But I read the Bible a lot, and I used to always go to church and stuff, and I'm always looking something up. But young people don't know, and a lot of them don't even go to church. And our young people, I think they need to have help them more. Help them more, encourage them to stay in school and or even just lead a decent life and work. And this drugs and alcohol is killing people. And our young people are getting a hold of that, and that's terrible. But nothing's done. They need to have something for young children and teenagers and encourage them, but no, nothing's done. I see that. You see it. I see it. If I go to the store, I always see somebody, and you can tell. And me and my aunt will give them money. My aunt, she's real good. She won't let nobody go hungry. And if somebody needs something, she'll get it for them. If they need a new coffee pot or something. And she's just like that. My aunt never had no children, so me and my sisters are like her kids. She's only 3 years older than me. I was born early. I was premature. I was born dead, they said. They just put me on that table, and them doctors told those nurses to go on. And my mama kept saying, my baby, my baby. And I guess I must have wanted to live. I made a little noise. And he turned around and looked, and he buzzed with us. And I had to stay in the hospital a long time. I barely weighed 3 pounds. I was real sickly. I used to be sick all the time. Always in the hospital and stuff. And doctor said, well, if she makes it, she makes it. So give her 50-50 and stuff. So I finally started getting better. When we come to Oklahoma, I started getting better. When I was in the hospital sick, my mother couldn't stay with me because she had my sisters, so I used to be by myself at the Indian hospital here. I used to hide under the bed from the nurses when they were bringing my medicine. I didn't want to take it. Janice, we know you're in here somewhere. I wouldn't say nothing. If you come out from under there, we'll buy you a pop. I'd probably come out. I finally outgrew that. I used to have pneumonia a lot. And see, I have to be careful with my health because when you have pneumonia all the time, it does something to your lungs and your chest. So I have to really watch myself, and I don't need to catch that. And here, we're pretty well okay here as elders. We've been tested all the time. I got both of our shots. Sometimes they came last month and tested us, and I know to wear that mask if I have to go to the store somewhere. My aunt wears it too, and we lost 2 residents that lived here so far, down the hallway. That was so sad. It just gets me upset when you know somebody and they die. But you know what? I shouldn't feel that way. I should think about the good times. But my parents worked. My grandparents worked. My great-grandparents worked. I worked. My sisters worked. My sons worked. You got to live. I don't ask for nothing. I don't expect nothing. I don't. And I know when I pass away, I'm not taking nothing with me. I don't care, because I'm going to be in glory land. They can do with what they want to do with my stuff. But come in this world with nothing, we're going to go out with nothing. But I'm going to be with my family because I've seen them. And I've also seen their spirits. People don't understand. Money means nothing to me. I spend it as fast as I get it, I give it away. I spend it because mine's going to go to my sons, and they can do what they want with it. They can give away my stuff if they want to, burn it, do whatever they want with it, because We believe in that as Indians, Cheyennes and Arapahos. They used to take everything. I remember in Colony the days when they did that, when Dave Cross's wife died down there at the powwow grounds. They cleaned him out. That's how they used to do. They took everything. You take it or you burn it up. We give everything away, clothes, everything. And some people don't do that, I guess. But that's a little bit of my family history. Is be good to each other and love each other, and be good to people. Always shake hands and always have something nice to say. And you know what? If somebody says something to you hateful or looks at you mean, I believe you turn the other cheek and just pray for them instead of fussing back or something, because that don't lead to nothing. And that's the way I do. I just always pray for people, because you meet people, we all do, that have nothing good to say and are hateful. But you know what? I think the devil's got a hold of them, and pray for them and that they'll turn around. And that happens even here. And here, I get along with everybody here gets along with me. See, I was sitting on the south side already, getting sun. I sit outside, we get vitamin D. She bought my meal, she went and got it. But that's just a few of the pictures, and this is our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents and stuff. That's it, all I got to say.